guys, this is Mumphy. Welcome back to another Doctor Who themed video. I uploaded on Sunday as well. Unusual for me, I know, but I just felt like a video idea was happening on Sunday, so I decided to film anyway. If you want me to keep uploading on Tuesdays and Sundays, you know what to do. Click that big red subscribe button down below and click the notifications bell to get notifications every single time I upload. If you're new to my channel, I do Doctor Who themed videos on this channel now, not any random stuff anymore, because a lot of you guys like Doctor Who themed stuff, so I've decided to completely dedicate this channel now to Doctor Who themed videos, and also I like the chatty kind of camera videos I give you rather than the whole thing. This video is sponsored by BritBox. BritBox are this company where they've got all the classic era Doctor Who videos up on there, so if you've just got into Doctor Who and you want to go and watch the classics, I'd definitely go and recommend it. Also use my discount code Phoebe25 and you'll get 25% off your first subscription and 3 months completely free of BritBox. So yeah, so today's video is top 10 second Doctor episodes, and then next week I'm moving on to the first Doctor and then the 7th, and then after that we'll be moving on to the modern Doctors from David Tennant to Jodie Whittaker. But I'm not doing 9 because he only did 1 season, and I'm not doing 13 because Jodie's now on her 3rd season, and I want to wait until she's got more season. She's had another season with Doctor Who before we do top 10 best 13th Doctor episodes. And also the reason I'm not doing 6 is because Colin Baker wasn't the Doctor for long, and then there was that 18-month cancellation, so he's only really done 2 seasons, both of which none of his time on the show episodes were that great. So yeah, just make sure you click the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Don't be shy, just click it down, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because I really appreciate people giving it a thumbs up. Anyway, onto the video. I'll let you know which episodes are gone from the black and white, because there are some videos. There are 97 episodes of the classic black and white era of Doctor Who that are missing from the archives and they can't be recovered, but there are some animations, so I will let you know which episodes are gone throughout this era, because I'm now on black and white Doctors, which isn't exactly great. Number 10, The Abominable Snowman. This one is a lost video, but if you type in Doctor Who transcripts online, you'll be able to read the script, so you'll be able to actually read it online. And they've also got an animation of The Abominable Snowman as well. They're making an animation of it right now, so yeah. 1967. When I originally did my Matrix review on this serial, I praised it for its unusual setting, huge and threatening monsters, creepy malfaction, clear storytelling, and the killer occurs of personal peril with widespread jeopardy. It's so unfortunate that this serial is almost completely missing from the BBC archives. If it had more of the visuals, the stories would be so much higher on the list. But as it stands, it just barely makes my list. Number 9, The Ice Warriors. This one does exist in the archives. Episodes 2 and 3 are animated, but the rest are there. The original black and white videos are there. While this story is more complete, it feels it sags in the middle. I recall dozing off at some point during episodes 2 and 3. This seems to be the trouble with a lot of stories longer than 4 parts. Still, I will praise the Ice Warriors themselves, and the TARDIS trio was on form as always, and I even say that the animated episodes look alright, though compared to earlier and especially later productions, the animation looks a little cheap. It's the length that really kills this one. Number 9, Fur of the Deep. Number 8, Fur of the Deep. Unfortunately, this one does not exist in the BBC archives. It's long gone, but hopefully they'll make an animation of it soon. Fur of the Deep is a bit of a rough one to talk about mainly. The issue is that the entire serial is missing, but the late Victor presented a very interesting tale. Aside from creating the sonic screwdriver, we got seaweed creatures and one of the creepiest 60 seconds in the show's history. I would really love for at least episode 6 to turn up someday, just so we can see Victoria's departure. As it stands, I can't give it too much of a fair shot against other stories. Yep, this one is completely gone, but you can read it in the Doctor Who transcripts. Number 7, Tomb of the Cybermen. This one has got all 4 parts together. No animation. This has survived the BBC archives for such a long time. Here's a fantastic Cybermen story. Tomb of the Cybermen is my 3rd favourite Cybermen tale from the 2nd Doctor era. I even considered this to be the ultimate Cybermen serial. Why the change in opinion? Because at this point I have seen everything I'm supposed for one reason. I thought this was because this is the only 60s Cybermen story that is 100% complete. I love the scene in episode 3 between the Doctor and Victoria. It's a bit sad, but gives a ray of sunshine and one of the best Doctor Who quotes of all time. It's so good to reuse almost words for words in the most recent series of Doctor Who when the 3rd Doctor was asked about her family. Number 6, The Invasion. This one again is lost in the archives. There are some parts of it that have made their way onto BritBox, but some of it's lost. The Invasion is probably the best Earth invasion plot Doctor Who has done up to that point. We have no clue who the enemy is here. Surely we have Tobias Vaughan and his cop Paker as very good villains on their own. But the reveal of the Cybermen halfway through the serial must have been a shock for those who had no clue that they were returning. Add that this was the first proper unit type prototype story and have a recipe for success. Number 5, The Web of Fear. This one has got the first parts there, the second part's kind of pictures, 3rd, 4th and 5th, 6th parts are all there. So the only part that's missing is part 2, that's just pictures with sound. So this sequel story to The Abominable Snowman was one of the early prototypes of future stories that involved UNIT on Earth, as it introduced Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, a colonel in this story. Even though episode 3 is still missing, that doesn't take away from the story at all. It does what Doctor Who excels at. It makes the original creepy. The writers made the London Underground creepy. Heck, the sets were so real looking that people who run the Underground thought the BBC filmed down there without their permission. Now that's a good set design. Number 4, Mind Robber. I think this is gone, I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be on BritBox, it might not be. I think it's there though. Now this story was just out there. It went balls to the wall with its concept, and it wasn't afraid to do so. They decided to throw in just about everyone, from Princess Rapunzel, Sir Lancelot, Guilford, and even Blackbeard. Heck, even the way they wrote Fraser Hines for a couple of episodes was a brilliant way to do so, with cliffhangers that boggled the mind and ideas that are so far out there. It's no wonder this little oddly makes to my list. Who can resist the candy cotton heart of darkness wrapped in the pages of classic literature? This is on BritBox. All of it's on BritBox this episode. Number 3, Enemies of the World. In this season filled to the brim with odd monsters and based underseas, we got this story where it's almost like Doctor Who tried to be James Bond, with Troughton pulling double duty, playing the sinister Raman Salamander. You really couldn't go wrong. This story was missing for so long. People didn't begin to praise it heavily until the whole story was recovered in 2013. I would still say this is a black sheep of season 5 because it's not based under siege story like many of the other ones from that year. Number 2, Power of the Daleks. This serial takes the 2 spot on the list simply because of what this serial did for the show. It needed to be a Dalek story and the first post-regeneration story. But at this point, we have no clue who the new Doctor is yet. He is loopy. Is he magical? Does he hate hats? But I'm sure you're probably wondering why this serial appears here and the Evil of the Daleks does not. The serial features subtitled Daleks with Evil of the Daleks has more loose Daleks. The Daleks were obsessed for a bit of evil, namely when they were testing Jamie, and their plan didn't really make practical sense there. This story features Daleks who are cunning and discreet about their true motivate. A subtle Dalek is way more dangerous Dalek to me. I'm sure I droned on enough about this story in past lists, so let's move on. This is all animated on BritBox. This is an animated story. Number 1, The Moon Base. This is what I consider to be the best Second Doctor story in the tales of previous. We have no clue who the Doctor is really like. He seems to love his hats and disguises, not to mention his recorder. But here we finally get the more serious Second Doctor. The Second Doctor is finally out of his growing phase when facing with the Cybermen for the first time. Speaking of the Cybermen, I love the redesign and I consider them a definitive version of the Cybermen. Through the story itself, it is basically based under Siege 1. It does something different with the concept. It's on the moon. Most base under siege stories happen on Earth. That being said, Smith and Jones is on the moon. I'll get into that later. They can range from mountains. Where was it? Of Tibet to the far frozen future. The moon is a place where you have limited options, with no help and no rescue. Rocket, the situation seems pretty bleak. It's my favourite Doctor story and I consider it to be the best to feature the Cybermen in the classic era. Honourable mentions, there's only one here. The Queen of Time, 2013. While this list is mainly for my favourite TV stories featured the Second Doctor, his appearance in the Big Finish Lost Story range should be mentioned. My favourite of his Lost Stories appeared has to be The Queen of Time. This right here is the Cecil Toymaker done right. That is, if the Cecil Toymaker was a woman obsessed with clocks and time, with Fraser Hines doing a very good impression of Troughton and Caroline Fraser as the Queen of Time herself, this story should have been on TV. I'd also like to give a few shout outs to the other stories I really like but didn't make the list. That includes the Macra Terror, the War Games, the Seeds of Death and the Evil of the Daleks. So there we go, that's that. If you guys want me to start reviewing new Doctor Who episodes or want me to do reviews on the Doctor Who revival from 2005, I'm happy to do so, because I've got a lot of opinions when it comes to series 1 and 2. But yeah, there we go. I was able to keep this video under 20 minutes. I try and keep my videos under 20 minutes if I can. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. I love making Doctor Who videos, it's so fun. Next week we're going on to top 10 first Doctor stories, which some of them are lost, some of them aren't, some of them have actually been lucky enough to make them onto BritBox. But yeah, so I'll see you guys soon with another video. For now, stay wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Alonzi.